a Tata BSNL broadband internet 24 hours live program from the Juhu temple, of course. And when the deities are closed, we have a variety program like all the Atmas, documentaries, talk show, debate. And suppose you have some question on email, you can write the question to Maharaj. We make sure we follow him and shoot him and answer in the next day or whichever date is available. So that's in Tata Broadband. And our sites are www.iskonmumbai.com and Krishna.com. So this is broadband, not just internet, broadband HD, high definition cameras and the sound. You're getting 24 hours. Even those who have internet on the mobile, they can watch everything on the mobiles. So this is the replacement of the television program on your laptop. Live program all over the world, on the laptop, on your computer, on your cell. So you cannot escape from the Krishna. We'll chase you with Krishna with this kind of facility, what we have. Then this is launched last year, this year, Janmashtami. And then last year we launched Tata Telephone. This year we have more of this Reliance, Airtel, Idea, Hutch, BSNL, MTNL. These are the major company of India. They cover 75% population of India of their cell altogether. So here also you have a ISKCON entire program on your cell. Their wallpaper, videos, ringtones, entire shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, all the calendars of ISKCON, yearly festival, Ekadasi festival, cooking recipes, and all about ISKCON. So they all the channel, all the cell, they carry their ISKCON zone and their details, they how to get them on your cell. So 24 hours you have a Krishna consciousness. And when the DT close time, we'll have a live counseling program with any of the sannyasis available around. And if you have a question, we can make sure we answer right there on the spot. So your question has to be on the internet and on the live audio video, you can follow them, your answer. So this is the latest achievement of ISKCON television. Then now also we are finding it's getting outdated, all the television itself. So we are coming with the DTH, Tata Sky, direct to your home, all your internet, everything with the television, and we have a 90 minutes program of the Krishna consciousness. As Maharaj very freshly reminded me how Prabhupada is the owner of everything. 1975, once I was following with one small camera to Prabhupada in almost 2-3 days. And in one place he stopped. He said, stop following me with the camera. You make movie about Krishna and I will direct. So Prabhupada is still the director of the whole ITV shows. This is a secret of successful. So the other day when Maharaj came, I don't know how this is happening. Now I know, after hearing Maharaj, why this is happening. It's because of Prabhupada. You know, the other day when Maharaj came, I said, how all this happened to me? I was wondering, you know. So now my mind is very clear because Prabhupada is directing the shows. He's a boss, he's the owner and producer and director of the shows. So this is very clearly to hear still fresh unknown stories. My business is another show called Discovery Channel, and at BBC we do the Discovery Channel. So this is for me a discovery. I wish I find the gentleman you mentioned, the head Pujari, if he's around. I like to shoot him again and bring the rest of the world for this. So this is me, for me is a discovery, what I heard from Maharaj about that Advaita Palace Mahal's head Pujari. So like this, every day, Krishna consciousness is a fresh. It's never still. Every day fresh, every day new discovery, new channels are happening. Idea is that we always, I really glad to hear from Maharaj how Prabhupada always took the back seat. Even in front of us, he always took the back seat, you know, like he put everybody. So for me, this back seat is really comfortable place for me, you know, very comfortable. behind the cameras, most secure. Nobody wants to topple me, nobody has a politics. So that was very comfortable. That was another maybe secret of successful, how we can stay in Krishna consciousness. So please find everybody in your spiritual life a back seat. It's the most secure. Sorry, Mark. Nobody wants to topple your seat. If more in the front seat, there's chance. Distraction in a spiritual life. As I said, I mean always business. This time I'm not doing a business, but just making a little presentation for Maharaj. Thank you very much to tolerate me. Hare Krishna. So they're quite good enough for you. I have to rest, Maharaj. Can I just leave?
Thank you, Haridas Prabhu. He gave us good wisdom that it's safer to be in the back seat. The only possibility of safety in the front seat if you put your safety belt on properly. That safety belt is Trinadapi Sunichena Tador Iba Sihishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. For somehow in the front seat without that safety belt of Trinadapi Sunichena, it's just a matter of time till we go flying through the windshield. And into the hospital. Or the grave. Hare Krishna. No, leave it there, leave it there. So now we would like to ask His Grace Radha Krishna Prabhu to make a presentation about the amazing, incredible services he's rendering through his midday meals program. Radha Krishna Prabhu is one of the very senior-most devotees of Radha Gopinath Temple. He was when we first started the counselor system, there were 4 counselors, and he was amongst them. He was managing so many projects in this temple for many years. Much of what you see is due to his hard work and efforts. And when he was inspired to begin this midday meals program, there was nothing. And how rapidly it has developed and expanded. It's absolutely amazing. And he is so precise and uncompromising in the standards that last year, my dear friend Gary, his auntie, Shelley Sterling, she came to Bombay. Now she's very much in the high aristocracy of Southern California, which includes not Bollywood, but Hollywood. Her and her husband, they're huge real estate owners in Beverly Hills. They own apartment buildings, hotels. In fact, Krishna Chandra Prabhu, Radha Priya Mataji, when they came to California earlier this year, they stayed as special guests of Shelley's Beverly Hills Hotel. They own a basketball team. I mean, they are really very, very top people in the social, economic sectors of society. And when she saw the food for the midday meals kitchen in Taradev, She was astounded. She said the cleanliness and sanitation is as good or better as the 5-star hotels in America. She was amazed. And she even pledged that she was going to try to raise funds for the midday meals program, just by seeing. So I'd like to introduce this very dear friend and of mine, Dr. Radhakrishna Prabhu, and he will present a video that he arranged to be made about what Radha Gopinath Temple and all of you are participating in as far as giving Sri Sri Radha Gopinath's prasad to tens and thousands of people every day. Hare Krishna.
The video more or less explains the entire project. But just as an introduction, I would like to say a few words. This is a project of Government of India. The government is implementing this project throughout India in all the primary schools which are either municipal or government aided. And the total number of these children is 12 crores. That is the extent of this project. And this year, the government has allocated in its budget 6,000 crores for this project. If some of you have heard the Prime Minister on the Independence Day message or read in the newspapers, he has emphasized this as one of the important projects of this government. The purpose of the government implementing this project is so that more and more students enroll in schools and they are retained. That is their objective. That is their goal. For us, it is an organized platform for distributing Krishna Prasad. In Bombay, we have 2 kitchens, one at Tardev and one at Mira Road. In all, as of today, we are serving 40,000 children every day. And very soon, maybe another week or so, we will be getting the permission of doing it for another 10 or 15,000 in the suburbs of Borivali, Kandivali and Dahisar. We have ISO certification for our kitchen. The Government of India, Ministry of Finance has given us a special 100% exemption from income tax to all donors who contribute to this project. And very soon, we hope and wish to start a 3rd kitchen with the help and cooperation of the devotees from Sri Sri Radha Rasbihari Temple. They want us to start a kitchen at Andheri, which will cater to students from Borivali to Bandra, numbering more than 100,000 children every day. I would now invite you to view this video, and I also invite you to come and visit the kitchen sometimes, and I invite you to participate in this project. And for any further details, you may please contact me personally. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Can we have the lights off, please, so that we...
He has instructed us to give a presentation on the value education and the Gopal's Fun School children preaching program that we are doing in Sri Sri Radha Gopinath Mandir for the last over 3 years. So we shall have the video show of the midday meal program immediately after this small presentation. I would like to present 3 topics. First, the background of this value education project, then the
his grave concern. That the young people in Bombay, meaning teenagers in their 20s, it is becoming a fashion. We would call it an addiction to be outside of their home till 4 o'clock in the morning. And there's practically nothing the parents can do about it. Now this man was telling me, this is not just a small group of people, especially amongst the wealthier class. It's like an epidemic. Srila Prabhupada, with all due respect to all the Bharatvasis, Bharatvarsha-vasis, he said that America is like a civilization of crows. Why? Because what do crows love to eat? Who would like to speak the answer? Whatever your realization is, say it loud at this time. I heard 2 words, sewage and garbage. I didn't hear rasgullas or halwa. Sewage and garbage. I often cite an instance where I was in Vrindavan forest one day and there were dozens of sweet chirping birds eating from the flowers of the kadamba tree, drinking the nectar from various other flowers. And then I came out and there was an old barrel used for garbage. And this is before Vasudev was in charge of cleaning. It had not been emptied for a long time. It was quite overflowing with fermented, disintegrating, obnoxious garbage. And all along the rim of that barrel were crows. They were not chirping. What is the sound of crows, everyone? Yes. Is it a sweet sound? Does anyone get CDs for the purpose of relaxation, of crows cawing? They were cawing, and they were cawing with immense enthusiasm. They found a treasure. That treasure was the fermented, decomposing garbage. They were diving in and eating and eating and eating, and they were really enthusiastic. And what do you think they sounded like at that time, everybody? Something like that. Srila Prabhupada explains that a crow wants to eat sewage, garbage. A swan likes to taste the sweet nectar from the lotus flower. Garbage means puna punascharvata charvananam, in Prahlad Maharaj's words. Chewing that which has already been chewed, sense gratification. Nayam deho deha bhajam naloke kastan kaman arhadi vibhujam jay. The Supreme Lord Rishabdev has told us in this way, that now that you have attained the human form of life, do not waste time with sense gratification. Why? Because sense gratification are available to the dogs and hogs that eat stool. Or in this particular analogy, to the crows that suck sewage. Human life is meant for tapasya. And what is tapasya? To accept what is favorable for devotional service, to realize our loving relationship with God. But Eastern civilization has always been based on high principles of morality, ethics, and spiritual enlightenment. The sages and rishis of India were influencing the masses to live simple lives, focus their lives on God, simple living and high thinking. So over the years, Western culture has really developed the science of performing sinful activities and enjoying. And India is way, way behind. Yes? I remember there was a room conversation where Srila Prabhupada was in one of the cities of the West, and an Indian gentleman asked about Krishna. And Prabhupada chastised him. You're from India. You don't know the answer? You don't know who Krishna is? Shame, shame. You've come to the West like a new crow looking for sense gratification. You forgot your own culture. You're asking who is Krishna? So yes, the Western civilization is a civilization of old crows. Why do we say old crows? Because they've been eating that garbage for so long. They're still enthusiastic, but it's no big thing to them. They'll fly to their pilgrimage site and they'll eat their garbage and they'll enjoy, but it's just the same old stuff. Puna punascharvata charvananam, chewing that which has already been chewed. Hare Krishna. But Srila Prabhupada said, when Indians, Bharata, Bhumite Hoila Manusya Janmajar, who are supposed to be spreading love of God all over the world because they're so fortunate to be born in the land of Dharma, the place where Krishna appeared, Rama appeared, Buddha appeared, so many great avatars and acharyas have appeared here. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Prabhu, they all appeared in this land. It's the duty of every person who takes birth in India to realize their heritage of love of prema bhakti, Sanatan Dharma, and to spread it throughout the world. Well, Srila Prabhupada said, when Indians try to imitate the people of the West by tasting these types of newer forms of sense gratification, westernized forms of sense gratification, they are the civilization of new crows. What is it? Nava crows? What is crow in Hindi? The International Society for Naya Kawas. Indians are now all over the world trying to enjoy that garbage. It's a fact. And the founder Acharya is Kali. So, Prabhupada said, when Indians try to enjoy the types of sense gratification of the Western people, he said it's all new to them. They're so enthusiastic. And it is a fact. I was discussing with some of our brahmacharis who went abroad, and almost everybody from abroad who comes to India, they're shocked. Because in America, the hoardings are billboards. You know, they're advertising Maya and sense gratification, but they do it with a certain amount of class, sophistication, and restraint. But India, the hoardings, are the most explicit and, for a moral person, obnoxiously disgusting in the world. You just have people stabbing people, killing people, embracing people, dressed in all kinds of crazy ways. What is that? It is the International Society for Navakawa. But the new crows, they're so enthusiastic. Yes. People of very high society, they tell me when they go to parties in the West, it's not as obscene as the high society parties in India. The amount of alcohol, the amount of drugs, the amount of explicit sense gratification. Yes, in the West, Benjamin Franklin, who came from America, he said, early to bed, early to rise, make people healthy, wealthy, and wise. Yes? But other people in the West came to this sense gratification of staying out all night, usually till 12 or 1 in the morning. But the new crows in Bombay, 4 o'clock in the morning. Almost every night. Sitting at these coffee shops. I mean, what do you do at a coffee shop? It's absurd. Waste of life. But it's like an epidemic. Why? And I was thinking that young people, their nature is they flow with the current of the society around them. I was only supposed to speak a few words, but I've become emotional. So I'm speaking a little extra, I'm sorry. With your permission. The young people, by nature, they follow their peers. Because when you get into your teenage and 20s, you're not so much concerned with what your parents say or think because it's not cool. You're more concerned with what the generation of your peers are thinking. You want to feel accepted because your parents accept you ultimately no matter what you do. But you want the peers to accept you. So they follow. And generally, it's all in the, according to the Western civilization especially, peers are usually immersed in higher, more bizarre forms of sense gratification. Sometimes a misfit who can't really make it and be very highly accepted in this sense gratification society, they'll join a gang where they'll, with violence, they can be actually accepted as somebody important. And actually, sociologically, most of these people who join terrorist organizations are just failures in society. They're from economically depressed places. They're not really making it. They're not getting recognition. But here, they can be in a group of people where they can be so highly recognized, respected, and accepted for something anybody could do. Killing others. That's what it's about. And then they put a philosophy or an ideal on it. Every violent gang, every terrorist group, they all have their ideals. Where is it coming from? People want this sense of social acceptance. They want this sense of importance. So they follow the peers. Jesus Christ and Prahlad Maharaj said the same analogy. When the blind lead the blind, they all fall into the ditch. That is what the new generation is. According to psychologists in this world, they say the new generation is called the me generation. What does me generation? I, me, mine. Everything centered around me. Not much empathy or sympathy to others. Our priority in life is me. selfishness, egotism. That's what today's generation is made out of. This is not the Hare Krishna speaking. This is the psychologist, psychiatrist, and social reform and social sociologists of the world, in the secular world. The me generation. Everyone is so self-centered. Everyone is concerned with their own sense gratification, with their own prestige, with their own progress in their materialistic life. This is Kali Yuga. Human life is meant for service. It's not meant for egoistic selfishness. But most people, unless they have an alternative, unless they have a society of alternatives, they have no choice. But there are so many people who want an alternative. We see this in Bombay. We just have a few brahmacharis going to colleges. And the same people who are just floating in that current of the old crow, of the new crows, toward sinful life, toward materialistic life, toward wasteful life. They have to have a society of people around them. They have to fit in. It's a human need. When they hear the devotees speak about high ideals, ethics, morality, love of God, philosophy, and they see there's people that they could really respect, they come right out of that current and enter into the path of bhakti. In our Prerna festivals, there's over 1,000 people that come almost every month. Just here in Bombay, there's 600 students that are chanting 16 rounds. And in Pune, I believe there's about 400 or 500 students chanting 16 rounds under Radhe Shyam Prabhu's able guidance. So between Bombay and Pune, about 1,200 people, students in the colleges, are chanting 16 rounds, and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands more, are chanting regularly, following the regulative principles. And they're excited, they're enthusiastic, they want to make a positive change in the world together. Because we give them the opportunity. This value education program is very, very important. It's a step into people's lives. In the colleges, we're giving very straight out Krishna conscious programs often. And we're attracting so many. But if it were a program wherein we can reach people not so straight in that spiritual vein, but as Prabhupada explained about the Bhaktivedanta Institute, just explain the teachings of Bhagavad Gita in their language. So that Prabhupada in Bhaktivedanta Institute, he didn't say anything different. He basically said, just teach what is in the Bhagavad Gita as it is in their language, scientific language. So that scholars, professors, they don't feel intimidated. They can hear it. Value education program is really, really important. The future of all of India is in the hands of these people who are sitting in coffee houses all night, taking intoxications, having girlfriends and boyfriends, and just trying to passionately imitate the nonsense of Western civilization, thinking that it's cool. It's not cool, it's cruel to your own soul and to every other soul around. In the name of fun. But yes, if we can present the higher values of morality, ethics, service to others, and love of God, so many people will be saved from this conspiracy of Kali. So I am appealing to everyone that we make this value education program a priority. And what we really require is congregational devotees who are willing to spare some of their time to be trained as teachers. Coordinators and teachers to go to these high schools, colleges, or whatever, and present the package of how to present it. Radha Krishna Prabhu, Prem Nidhi Prabhu, and others have already put together very nicely, and they're still working on improving it, Shikshastakam Prabhu. But just to learn how to present nicely and to actually go to these schools and present. And I think it's a fantastic service. Prabhupada will bless us, and so many people, innocent people, who are just being dragged by these ropes, will have the alternative, and so many will take the alternative and live wonderful, wonderful lives. So please, if you are interested, speak to Prem Nidhi Prabhu or Radha Krishna Prabhu or Radhapati Prabhu. Radhapati Prabhu has been very much engaged in this wonderful service, committing time and energy. Prem Leela Devi Mataji, she has also dedicated herself to helping in this project. Both boys and girls, men and women, males and females. Everyone is welcome to participate. Thank you very much.